back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Welcome to my live stream, guys. So I chose to go live because I already posted a 3-minute long video of the show in itself, like the actual show that we just watched. I post a 3-minute video on there. Okay, so please check that out. I don't want to make a video where I'll then insert clips again and then it will not be too much and then YouTube will not come for me. So let's just do like a run through of what happened tonight. I mean, a good number of us have actually watched the clip, and I know that a lot of us watched tonight's episode. So what do you guys think? Yes, from the title, Doyin said that Adekunle is not a human being. You know, she said that this guy needs to apologize to his mom because he threw all the home training that she gave to him under the bus. Like he threw that into the gutters. So he needs to apologize. In fact, she said, let me just read it for you. He is a malicious and vicious person. I'm just like, take it easy, Doyin. Like, relax, okay? Relax. Now, you know what? Somebody just said, me, I don't watch Amo. Okay, let's take it from the very beginning of tonight's episode. So you guys are going to bear with me just in case I'm not responding to your comments. I just want to go through what happened tonight, and then of course we can, you know, discuss, or better still, you guys can tell me what you guys think. Okay, so anyways, hi, welcome everybody, welcome, thank you for joining. So very quickly, let me go through it, right? So first of all, there was a clip. I have my notes here just in case. Okay, there was a clip of Khalid and Brian. They were having a conversation. That was where tonight's episode started. A clip of Khalid and Brian. They were talking about Hermes and his accent and him being from Shoki. So basically, they were just like, this guy never traveled before now. You know, he said he has never traveled and all of that. You know, so how come he has an accent? And, you know, Khalid was not telling Brian that, the guy never traveled, but see, even said the guy never traveled. And in fact, the guy that Shoki boy, you know, so it came off like, you know, Khalid was shading Hermes and all of that. But then both of them explained, by both of them, I mean Brian and Khalid, they explained that no, it wasn't shade. Brian said he was just curious. He just wanted to understand how the guy has an accent. I mean that for Shegs, it was understandable because, you know, Shegs own is man them. And, you know, Shegs lives in the UK and all of that. So, of course, it's easy to pick that up from there. But, you know, for Hermes, they never traveled before. Say, how come, but let come. Okay, but that's not what you're talking about. Anyway. How come he has an accent, you know? And, you know, Khalid now gave information, like, that information was TMI, like, oh, the guy na Yano Shoki boy, you know, like, he don't forget all this accent. Now, of course, for Hermes, because Ebuka had asked Hermes, like, what is this about? Like, you know, where did you pick this up from? Where did you pick your accent up from? And I'm just going to read out what he said. You know, he was like, it's cliche to say people are a result of their environment, because for him, he worked on himself. Like, he actually mentioned that he did not grow around people that, you know, spoke all this like big grammar or had an accent and all of that. But that was something he wanted for himself. And as a result of that, he put in the work, you know, training himself, listening to podcasts, radio, you know, he was building himself because he knew what he wanted for himself. And so it's okay for people to see it a certain way, but he knew what he wanted. And so he trained himself, you know, to become that person that had an accent even without traveling out of Nigeria. I mean, they just cleared that and, you know, we moved away from that. But then I like the fact that, you know, he was not ashamed to say, oh, I did not have people speaking, you know, this around me. He put in the work. And I think that one of the reasons I resonate with, you know, what Hermes said is because, like, even me, let me even quickly give my excuse. Let me tell you about myself. Like, growing up there, me, I did not even know how to speak English. Do you understand? Like, English was not even, I was speaking pidgin, guys. Like, that's a story for another day. But like, my English was so bad. I had a lot of people who laughed at me, and, you know, they'll just be like, madam, no, they talk. You understand? But look at me. Look at me. Let me put small accent. Look at me now. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you want something, you really need to go for it. Like, guys, I read English, University of Ibadan. Okay, like, do you understand what I mean? So his story kind of resonated with me because, again, mine might not be that, oh, I was trying to, learn an accent. For me, I was just struggling to even speak good English. Just put, simple tenses together and make common sense, But, at the end of the day, what you want is what you want. And if you can put in the work to achieve it, then, there's really nothing wrong with that. So that was the first issue that they trashed. Right now, they moved on to Adekunle don't suffer this night, yeah. Like Adekunle, I don't know, man. But they moved on to Adekunle and Eloswag. There was a clip of Adekunle and Eloswag talking, and of course they were talking about Hermes and Allison. Now we already know the whole dynamics between Adekunle, Allison, Hermes, all of that. Yeah, it was first Allison and Adekunle, and then she moved to Hermes, right? And we all know that the switch happened like almost immediately. It came to us, the viewers, as a shock, like, when did all of this happen? When did this happen? Right? So that clip was played, and in that clip, yeah, Adekunle was telling Eloswag that he knows that Allison and Hermes, there's something there, but that he's trying to create an impression, to Allison that the person she likes was Giddy Fire. He knows that the person she likes is actually Hermes, but he was trying to make it look like, oh, I know who you like, and then he was mentioning Giddy Fire, not wanting to mention Hermes, just to see her reactions and all of that, right? So that was basically that clip right now. So it was time for them to now, talk about it. And Allison said, I asked Allison, like, so what happened? Like, why was the switch so fast? And she's like, there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't want something, you can just move away from me. Like, no big deal, like there's really no big deal, And then Adekunle was like, let me quickly see what I wrote there. Well, for her, according to Allison, you guys might want to check the previous video I posted. I posted clips from the show, as a video on its own. So please check that out. Allison had made reference to the fact that she saw Adekunle as very sneaky, somebody that, he was not straightforward. And the fact that he always came to her to say bad things about Doyin, who she liked at the time, he just put her off, and she's like, nah, this guy is cute from afar, but, getting to know him, that's not what she wanted. And of course, she had to, move away from the guy and all of that, right? So Adekunle, Ebuka asked, do you think it's fair to actually say that you were a gossip and all of that? And I was like, well, it's fair to say that I was a gossip in the house and all, but then the truth of the matter is that there was a timeline. It's not like he just started gossiping. This is something that every other person had been doing before he started doing it. So he's admitting that, yes, I gossiped in the house, but then I did not start it. People were already gossiping. And so my own started at a particular point in time. Now there was a clip of Adekunle talking to Allison about Doyin being a therapist. You know how she was like always being a therapist in every situation and all of that, right? So Adekunle was talking to Allison and he was trying to tell her to be careful, that Doyin is not particularly a nice person, that she's a troublemaker and she gives bad advice. So he was like, so in what I'm saying, I'm telling you to be careful. And Allison did not particularly disagree, and I love the fact that Ebuka pointed that out, because tonight was just a lot. Anyway, before I tell you guys what I think, let me just finish what he showed. Ebuka was like, so why? Anyway, he asked that question like later, and he was like, so why are you getting so angry, knowing fully well that you also talked about this guy? He was asking Doyin that question because Doyin had gone on and on, just really saying stuff about Adekunle. I confronted this trifling young man, and this guy said this. Like, if Adekunle tells you it's raining, you better check, because he's a liar, he's a born liar, he's a this one, he's not a human being, he's a wicked person, he's a genuinely malicious and vicious person, he is this, he is that. Like, she went on and on, even though she was sitting pretty. So the thing is, what I've noticed is, these housemates here, they want to yab. Okay, the yabbing is coming to them very quickly, but everybody is trying to form posh. Now only Phyna be wary. Phyna, they scatter everywhere. Phyna no send anybody, papa. But every other person is basically doing the same thing that Phyna is doing, but then they're all like, I'm just like, what is wrong with these people? Like, she said so many things, and even when Adekunle explained a particular conversation, because Doyin, according to Adekunle, Doyin had told Allison in that particular week that they referred to, Adekunle was sick, right? Adekunle was sick, and Doyin had tried to have a conversation with him, and of course, he had told her that he wasn't feeling fine. Now, when Doyin was having that conversation with Allison, because Doyin had a lot of conversations, my God, like, let's take our minds back. Doyin did a lot, a freaking lot, okay? She was having a conversation with Allison, and then she was telling Allison that, Adekunle is not particularly sick, that he's just, suffering from the heartbreak of her moving away from him onto Hermes. That was basically what, and Doyin had that conversation, okay? Doyin had that conversation. I'm not even the only person that has agreed to the fact that Doyin had that. Even on the internet, that conversation was had. So Doyin said that, and then now Doyin and Allison were like, I don't even remember that conversation. I don't even remember that conversation. And of course, Adekunle also mentioned that it was Doyin that came to him to say, okay, you know what? Since Allison is no longer talking to you like that, why not, try to talk to other people? See, there's Rachel who are just coming to the house, so you might as well, get to talk to her, get to know her and all of that. And of course, he started having conversations with Doyin. Adekunle now explained, because again, from the short clip that they had posted earlier, they made it look like, Adekunle was the only person gossiping, and that's where I had a problem. Because Adekunle said, he explained the conversation that he overheard Doyin and Allison having. Now, prior to the so I told you guys that they played a clip of Adekunle having a conversation with Eloswag, right? Now, he said that before that conversation, that he was having that conversation with Eloswag on a Sunday. But before that conversation, the Saturday, which was the Saturday party and all of that, Doyin was drunk, right? She was really, like, just gone. Otilo, And he took her out of the party room and took her outside. And Allison was there and was like, Allison, take care of your friend. She was drunk. She didn't know what she was doing. Now, the next morning in the toilets, he overheard Doyin and Allison having a conversation, right? And it was basically, let me even see what he said. It was basically both of them, gossiping Adekunle and just saying stuff about the guy. And so when he heard that, he coughed so that they can know that, okay, I heard you people and all of that. So for him, that conversation was like a continuation of what he had heard, and that's why he was talking to Eloswag and saying, oh, this one, and all of that. So it's not like he just started talking to Eloswag, that something actually prompted it before, they now started talking about the whole Hermes situation and all of that. Now, before we go speak English, Dosso just said, Adekunle, it's okay to say that you were playing a game. All these things you're doing, see, you were being really snaky, you were doing this, stop all these things, you were lying, you lied so much, just stop being all this. It's okay. Okay. Now, bear in mind, at the beginning of this show, you see Adekunle, Dotun, Allison, and one more person, like, all of them were friends in level 2. I've been in trenches, all of them were friends. Guys, can somebody remind me what level 1 and level 2 were called at the time? Because I mean, Otilo, Nazakala Wahala, now that is scatter everything from my head. But yeah, at that time they were all friends before the whole split up happened. And so when they moved upstairs, Adekunle said he noticed a difference. Like, they would usually like gossip and talk on that. Thank you, Islanders, thank you. They would usually like gossip under the duvet, and he was always left out of all those conversations. And so he knew that something was already off, with his friendship, these people and all of that. Yeah. So Ebuka now asked Shegs, take away the fact that you and Adekunle had your own differences. Yeah. What would you say about this particular situation between Adekunle and what's the name now? Adekunle and Doyin? And for Shegs, yeah, he felt like he would agree with Dotun in terms of, Adekunle just owning up to the fact that he was playing a lot of games. Like, for Shegs, it's okay. Like, you played your game, regardless of how it came across. You played your game, it got you to the finals, and that's all that matters. But like, making it look like, oh no, you were not playing a game then, and you did not do this, you did not do that, that doesn't make sense. Just own up to the fact that you were playing a game, even though it doesn't go well with a lot of people. But people will understand that, yes, you're owning up to the fact that it was a game and all of that. Yeah. Now, What do I think of this before I move on? First of all, I need to remind everybody, because it's almost like we all have forgotten that Big Brother Naija is a game. You know, it's a game, right? If you go into the house, you have to find one way or the other to remain relevant in the house, you know. And the problem I'm having with a lot of these housemates is the fact that, and it's not just about the level up season right now, it's just generally when they come out of the house, you know, they become someone new, you know, some type of brand new human beings and all of that. And then when they come for reunions, everybody is trying to be like, oh, now, like, hello, all of you were a bunch of razzles. You guys were raz during the show. So like, why are you now coming out to act like do? And it's funny how Doyin kept on going and going and going at Adekunle tonight, because like, Doyin, are you for real? Doyin, that was a lot. And even Ebuka had to ask Doyin, madam, you also gossiped so much about this guy. So why are you being angry? Like, why are you angry right now? It's not about speaking grammar. Forget grammar. It's not about sitting pretty and saying he is a liar. If he tells you it's raining, you better go and check because that guy is a da. It's not about all that one. Not be by grammar. Mama, you gossip now. You talked a lot. I'm not see. Adekunle had behaviors in the house. Like, he exhibited some things in the house that was just really annoying. It was crazy. But Adekunle is not the devil. Like, no. Adekunle is not the devil. Saying that his mother needs to be ashamed of herself. His mother, that he owes, she didn't say his mother needs to be ashamed. She said that Adekunle owes his mother an apology for throwing away all the home training that she gave him into the gutter. That was not right. For someone that gossips, like Doyin gossiped so much. Everybody in the house gossips now. Everybody gossips. So like, what is it? I get it. Adekunle was, and like, if we get to the whole Adekunle being an instigator in terms of the whole Bella shares, maybe I can, agree when we get there, because I mean, we've not really entered, neck deep into their topic. But for now, no, that's not, like, no. In this whole situation, even the Doyin gossip, do you get what I mean? Like, it's not a question of who gossiped more. It's not a question of who gossiped, because both of them actually did. Both of them actually did. But like, it's a question of who did it more. Who did it more? I can agree that, Adekunle instigated, a lot, but like, now making it look like the guy is the devil. Nah, that's not right. That's not right. Yes, he overdid some things. I mean, I was really pissed. I mean, a few episodes back, in fact, with the whole newsletter thing, people kept on saying, oh, Betha is like, you hate the guy, you don't like this guy. But it's not even about liking him or not liking him. It's about knowing the fact that they all are guilty of this same thing. And it was almost looking like Adekunle is just over this whole Big Brother drama, because it's just like, okay, you said this one, like Baba nearly cried. And it's like, okay, I mean, at this point, I don't know. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Yes, Doyin even said, I don't know, it wasn't Doyin, no. Allison had said, if you're tired of, something, you can move on. I don't know if Doyin called him this thing. I don't know, guys. But anyways, let me know what your thoughts are. Now, the last scene that, they played for us was week 2, where Phyna was having a conversation with Beauty, Saif. There's one other lady there. I can't remember her name, but please remind me. Okay, Doyin really called him a thing. Oh wow, that's a bit too much, if you ask me. Coming from Doyin, I mean, she earned the whole name therapist for a reason. She was always in people's businesses. So you cannot be a therapist and not be a gossip. Hello, you be gossip. You they do Amebo. Oh, Christy. Oh, thank you. Christy. Oh, now they were having that conversation, in the trenches, and they were like, who be the girl? So they were basically trying to find out who a particular girl was and all of that. Yeah. Now, they asked, Ebuka now asked Phyna, okay, Phyna, what was that about? I said, Ebuka, that's it. What you watched now, so it be. Ebuka said, no, can they bow your face here, because they laugh since now. They ask question, they bow face. What was that about? So I said, no, that's it. That's it. I said, who should I be? That's it again. They call us Chomzy. Chomzy, what was that about? And Chomzy was like, well, for her, if she were to be in Phyna's shoes at the time, she would not be upset. Now, let me just give you guys context of what they were talking about. Yeah. It was basically, you guys remember that in the first week, yeah, Phyna was all over Elo Swag, right? She kept on talking about Elo Swag, Elo Swag, Elo Swag. Even though now it's surprising to just hear, we're giving content for the game, content. Hello, we understand that you guys were giving us content, but madam, you really liked Elo Swag. Like, let's not even do that, okay? Let's not do that. You liked Elo Swag. Even all those ones she was saying, with Groovy, I overheard this, and so I decided, you know what, let's play the game. I'm not a party to that, okay? Like, I'm just gonna give you guys chance to believe what you want to believe, because me, I'm not buying that. She really liked Elo Swag. I mean, and then even with the Groovy situation, she really, really liked Groovy. I get that things went south, and everybody's trying to act, like, you not pay me, not pay me. I get all of that, so I'm not going to pay attention to that. But with this Elo Swag situation, we all know how Phyna was going about, like, Elo Swag, Elo Swag, Elo Swag, even in her drunken state, Elo Swag, Elo Swag. And she kept on having conversations with this guy, and the guy had told her that, look, yeah, I have one P. I don't remember the word Phyna used, but she was like, I have one. Is it I don't know what she called that. I don't know what that word was, yeah, but she like that he has one girl upstairs and all of that, and he wants to sort things out before Bonnie. Thank you, Karen. Before coming over to her, right? So Elo Swag had asked Phyna to give him a few days to sort that out, right? But the problem is she didn't know who the girl was. So that conversation she was having with Beauty, Saif, and I can't believe I forgot that girl's name again. Christy, oh, okay. That conversation was just Phyna trying to find out who the girl Elo Swag liked was at the time. She didn't know it was Chomzy, and whilst they were talking and all of that, Beauty now said, oh, now Chomzy, because they had tried to find out. Phyna had asked Amaka had asked her roommate, her roommate during the lockdown. That one said nothing. Phyna had asked Chichi, who was also her roommate. Chichi knew that the girl they were referring to was Chomzy, but she did not tell Phyna that it was Chomzy. She was like, you don't need to know the person that raised. It's not important. This one. So it was just them trying to figure out who the girl was. It wasn't anything deep. So I don't even know why that particular topic was raised. I don't know if they're just trying to now include Beauty's name in the topic, because like we have topics to talk. We have topics to talk. We have topics to discuss, that involves Beauty. So if you guys really want to talk about Beauty with your full chest. Which one is? They just wanted us to know that there was, once upon a time, Phyna and Beauty were able to stay in one particular place to have a conversation. By the way, Beauty was in the studio tonight. Well, for this particular episode, she was in the studio. She didn't say anything because nothing was directed her way. So we're just going to wait to see what's going to happen on the next episode, right? Because like I don't really know what's in all that one cover. Like, plus, why are they taking us back and forth? You take us to day one, you bring us to day 3, then you now take us back to day 1. Like, multi-choice, this is not fair. Okay, it's not really fair. But guys, let me know what you think about this whole conversation. It was mostly centered around Adekunle, Doyin, and all of that. And I feel like whilst we're pointing fingers and saying, oh yes, Adekunle did this, which of course he did these things that we're talking about, we also need to understand that he was not the only person that spoke. And we need to understand that Doyin also said a lot, right? A lot. They use therapy, they cover body. She said a lot. So yeah. Guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will definitely see you guys on the next one. Please make sure to let me know what you think. Also, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I will see you guys on the next one. Okay. Bye guys. Make sure to also watch the video. I posted the real clip from the show. I posted that on my page as well, so please check it out. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.